Hi everyone, and welcome back to
Brody's Chess on YouTube. Today we are going to be talking about my first tournament, which was on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024.
So this was Brody's first tournament, and we quickly realized when we got there that a lot of the other kids had played in previous tournaments. So that was a little bit intimidating, but Brody managed to play all 5 rounds. And do you want to tell them the end result?
I won 2 games.
2 out of 5. He almost won 3. He was actually winning one of the games, but then his opponent got a sneaky checkmate and totally caught Brody off guard.
I was like a move away from a checkmate.
But that's what happens in chess. The first person to get a checkmate wins, so couldn't do much about it.
Yeah.
So Brody, how did you feel when we first got to the tournament?
A little bit excited and scared, so like nearsighted.
Okay. And what about when you sat down at the table and the announcer said, "We're gonna start"?
I did not feel good.
You didn't feel good. Why?
Because I was like really nervous.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure. I think there were about 120 kids in total, ranging from age 7 to 18. And you were put into age groups. Brody was in the youngest age group called U8. So those were 7 and 8-year-olds. And he was randomly paired against his opponents. They were all boys. Some of them obviously better than others. And we quickly found out some of them have been playing since they were a lot younger, like 3 years old. And Brody's really only been playing for a year.
Yeah.
So considering that Brody doesn't have formal training, he doesn't have a chess coach like a lot of these other kids, he did really, really well. And we're very proud of him. So Brody, how did the first game go?
So even though when I was like feeling nervous, it wasted 5 minutes of my clock, I still won the game.
Yes. So he had 20 minutes on the clock. 5 minutes were wasted because he was contemplating not even playing the game. At that point, he was like, I don't want to do this. I don't feel good. I'm too nervous. I just want to leave. But we convinced him, try it. We're here. We came all this way. It was a far drive. Just do it. And one of the organizers actually recognized Brody from his YouTube channel. And that made Brody pretty excited. And he said, "You can do it." And Brody just got courage and he made his first move.
Yep.
And even though he was down 5 minutes on the clock, what happened?
I won.
He won his very first game. So he won his first game of his first tournament in his whole life. And that, I think, is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, and the kid that I played had like been in tournaments, and like I heard in other games he made like a bunch of
he made some illegal moves.
Yeah, like, and they told the people if you touch the piece, you move it. And in my game, he touched a piece and he didn't move it. He was like fine. And then after I raised my hand, he like just moved it, and then I just got his queen.
Yes. And that's how Brody won his first game. The second game, he played against a kid who was very good.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of experience. He had played in tournaments before.
Yeah.
The third kid, Brody thought he was going to beat. I thought he was going to beat him too. But again, he got a tricky checkmate. What was the checkmate he got?
It was like, I think a rook and a bishop at like the right side.
So something Brody was not expecting.
Yeah.
And then the fourth game, Brody, he was pretty upset after the third game because I think he felt like he was going to win. He was very disappointed. He was angry, frustrated, and he wasn't sure if he wanted to even continue. But we had a little talk and we decided, play the fourth round, see how you do. I said, I have a good feeling about this. And then what happened when you played the fourth round?
I won.
He won. And so he got a bit of his confidence back. That was a
Yeah.
really good boost for him. And he went on to play the fifth round. He also played a really challenging player who took a really long time to make each move. He was very slow at thinking and calculating, whereas Brody tends to play a little bit faster. So I think that kind of threw him off a little bit because he was like, come on already. But the guy ended up winning just because they had very different styles of playing.
I was like a move away from the checkmate.
Yeah, some of the games were pretty close.
Yeah.
But overall, did you like the experience?
Yeah.
And do you want to play in another tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say to kids that have never played in tournaments before, but that are thinking about doing it?
Just don't worry about the score. Just play regular. Don't put pressure on yourself. And if you lose, it's okay.
Mm-hmm. What happens if you do lose and you get upset?
Just like take breaths and like calm down and think to yourself, I still have a bunch of more games to do.
Mm-hmm. Don't look at each game individually.
Yeah.
Don't let it ruin your entire day. Just focus on one game at a time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of good sportsmanship, shaking hands, congratulating each other. There were a lot of tears, even from the older kids. Like
Yeah.
we saw some kids who looked like they were maybe 10, 11, 12. They got pretty upset too. Because I think in the chess community, a lot of kids are perfectionists and they're not great at losing. So a lesson that everybody has to learn is losing is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're
If
a
you
bad
lose,
player.
You learn.
You always learn from your
But
mistakes.
if you win, you're like, I didn't learn anything. Like, I'll just play the same. Like,
Mm-hmm. Winning does give you confidence, it makes you happy,
Yeah.
but losing teaches you where you made a mistake, what you can do better next time, and how to adapt to different people's styles.
Yeah.
Because remember one time you were trying to do your opening?
And they just, like, both times when I was black, they blocked my opening
And
with
that,
the pawn.
yeah, that threw you off a little bit, right? He wasn't really expecting
two
it.
spaces.
Yeah, he wasn't really expecting that they were gonna like interfere with his opening, but they did. And then he had to think of a new plan, which he wasn't really prepared for. So we know for next time, you always have to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Do you have any other tips about playing in a tournament? How can we prepare better next time?
Don't worry as much.
Try to just work on your mental state. And also practicing with a lot of different people, I think, would help.
Yeah.
Because Brody doesn't belong to a chess club. A lot of the kids do. He might in the future join a chess club or get a chess coach, but he wasn't used to playing very many people. He mostly plays with me and a couple other adults. He hadn't really played with a lot of people, sometimes online, but it's different over the board. So I think next time we should have some more practice in advance playing over the board with all different kinds of players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would actually give you some good experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our little summary of Brody's first tournament in Toronto, Canada. And it was a qualifier tournament. If you got a 2.5 out of 5, you can advance to the next level, which is in Vancouver in July. Brody had a 2 out of 5.
But some kids got like 1 and one kid got 0.
Exactly. So in the grand scheme of things, out of 20 kids in his age group, 6 kids got a 2, the same as him.
Yeah.
And some kids only got 1, and one kid actually sadly got 0.
Yeah.
So when Brody looks at how he ranks in comparison to the other players, he was pretty satisfied with his performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we can only get better from here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for watching.
Yeah.
If you like this video,
don't forget to subscribe and make a like and share this video with your friends.
And one more thing before we go, you may have seen our most recent post on either Instagram or YouTube. Yesterday, we had a really cool experience where some of our viewers notified us that our video called The Cow Opening by Anna Cramling, Anna actually saw our video and she talked about it for quite a while she was live streaming on Twitch yesterday. And she played some of the video and she said how heartwarming it was. And we just want to thank her again for bringing attention to Brody's channel, encouraging people to subscribe, because Anna is a chess player that we really admire.
She's a master and both of her parents are grandmasters.
Mm-hmm. And she just has such a nice personality. She's such a sweet person. So we really appreciate her bringing attention to Brody's channel. And we just love that the chess community is so close and supportive of each other. So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.